I remember being put to sleep, and then I experienced swimming in a pool. I was on the bottom of the pool and looked up to see blue sky and the sun shining.
Hello, and welcome to Spirit Travels, where we narrate the extraordinary experiences of people who have glimpsed the other side of death. My name is Maureen, and I will be your narrator on this journey. If you enjoy this content, please make sure to like and subscribe to support our channel. Now let's begin.
My husband, 3 sons, and I lived in Saudi Arabia. We were living there for my husband's work. At 9:30 a.m. on June 16th, 1996, which is Father's Day, at the hospital I had my 4th child and my 4th C-section. My 3rd child had been delivered there 17 months earlier. Since I was an older mother, and I had started having premature labor with this pregnancy, I'd been in and out of the hospital for months. I was too sick to travel back to the States. During all of this, an ultrasound showed that I was having a girl. My Egyptian husband named her Maha, which means beautiful eyes in Arabic. We had seen her face on the ultrasound, and her eyes were beautiful then and now. I had been put on bed rest for the last 3 months of this pregnancy. I was 35 weeks into the pregnancy when June 16th was decided for delivery. The doctor, who was Saudi but trained in Canada, said that I was dilated to 4 and contracting too much to go any further with the pregnancy. I remember being put to sleep, and then I experienced swimming in a pool. I was on the bottom of the pool and looked up to see blue sky and the sun shining. It is similar to when you're at the bottom of a pool and you look up on a sunny summer afternoon. There was very soft, beautiful music with lots of violins. I have the song in my head, but I've never heard it before or since. I had the sensation of having to get to the top of the pool to get some air. It was a struggle to get to the top of the water. I struggled and fought my way up. I would look down and see a white stone path with people waving. I had the feeling that I knew them. It's like they were waving hello. The path was very light, white, and bright. I could see Jesus at what looked like the end, and the path was lined with a huge crowd of people waving. I wanted to keep looking down and go in that direction, but I also felt I should go to the top of the water. I would try to swim to the top, but I would look down and see all those people. They looked so welcoming and inviting, and I was torn about which way to go. The last time I looked down, I heard my grandmother's voice telling me, "Honey, you have to go back now. We aren't ready for you. Maha needs you." I didn't see her, I only heard her. She had died in 1981. I felt a push, broke through the surface of the water and took a big gulp of air, just like you would after you've been underwater too long. It was like seeing something on TV. I was looking at myself in a swimsuit from childhood. I could see myself breaking through the water. I could see, rather than feel, the water splash out of the pool around my face. When I broke through the surface, I could hear monitors going off and so much noise from people talking and yelling. Remember, this was Saudi Arabia with many languages spoken by medical staff. I was trying to focus on what was being said to me, and I couldn't. It was way too confusing and noisy. I wanted to go back to the peacefulness of the pool. Someone wrote my husband in to see me. He leaned over and said, "Don't leave me. Come back. Just breathe, sweetheart." I asked him about the baby and if she was okay, since I could still hear the monitors going off. He said the monitors were for me. I don't remember much from the rest of that day, except I'm told that I was in ICU. Sometime during the day, I was told that I had a respiratory arrest and I was dead for 3 minutes. Back in the States a few years later, an anesthesiologist told me that I had been overdosed. During a C-section, paralyzing meds are given, then backed off before administering pain meds. The anesthesiologist felt that the paralyzing meds weren't backed off enough. I've had 3 surgeries since then with no ill effects, but these were in the USA. 2 important things happened that day. My 2 older sons, who were 12 and 14 at the time, didn't speak much Arabic. They were in the waiting room with their father when the doctor came out and told my husband that I had died. My 2 sons said they were thrown to their knees by a very powerful force and started praying that their mother would not die. They were told that God was in control. Both sons came to me individually afterward with the same description, the exact words said, the exact answer they received, and how they had understood the Arabic. During their praying, my husband and doctor received word that I was breathing again. My husband was brought back in to see me, and how my grandmother would know to call my daughter Maha is amazing. Maha is not a name she would have known. To this day, when I get stressed over life, I just remember back to the music and the peace I felt while in the pool. I am not afraid of dying. I've been there. The hard part of that whole day was coming back. It was like being in 2 worlds, one peaceful and the other one was chaotic. While I was still in the hospital, my husband told me that we had promised to stay married until death do us part, and we were no longer married since I had died. That is when I learned to go back to the bottom of the pool world to find peace. In the years since, I am not as quick mentally as I used to be. It takes longer to process and retain information. I have no idea how much of it is from the birth experience, an aging brain, or being a single mother to 4. This is the first time that I've put in writing what has happened to me. It took me a long time to come to terms with this experience. Only people who are very close to me know what happened that day. After my children and I came back to the States in 1997, I was treated for PTS after telling a psychologist what had happened on that day. I was afraid of being thought as insane. That was the first time that I could put it into words. I was told that I wasn't crazy. I wonder now if the PTS was correct or not, though.